Blog Talk Radio.
Now, get up out your seats. Coming to the ring. Now, but I'm wondering if you can bring in with one win, no losses, undefeated in the streets, weighing in over 300 pounds.
We're going on just a second. We're live right now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to IHWE Radio. This is our second night, our double header. This week's spectacular simulcast from the 49th Annual Cauliflower Alley Club in Las Vegas, Nevada. Of course, I'm David Fuller, standing by in Fort Worth, Texas, but standing by in Las Vegas is a man who's had more fun than any man should be allowed to have fun in 1 week, Michael McCurdy. Michael, you're at the CAC in Las Vegas. What's poppin' there?
As always, man, I am here live in Cauliflower Alley Club Reunion, Las Vegas, Nevada, and I am having so much fun here tonight. But, David, we're going to kick this show off right. We're going to get started right now. She is a women's honoree tonight. Here she is on IHWE Radio, cheerleader Melissa.
Hello, hello. This is cheerleader Melissa.
Well, hello. David Fuller here. Thank you for joining us. It's an honor to have you on.
Oh, thank you. It's my pleasure.
Well, I know your time is very limited, so I'm going to have a couple questions for you real quick. Obviously, anybody who knows professional wrestling knows who you are and knows your accomplishments. If they don't know, they've been living under a rock and they're not a true wrestling fan. You have done so much over the last few years. Your name has become synonymous with female wrestling. You're being honored tonight at the Cauliflower Alley Club. For someone who has worked as hard as you have and respects the business as much as you do, what does it mean to you to be honored tonight at the CAC?
Well, the thing is that it's a huge honor. I mean, I've been coming to the Cauliflower Alley for lots and lots and lots of years now. And as fun as the events that they are, over the years, the more I got involved, the more I learned what the Cauliflower Alley, how it gives back to professional wrestling, how it helps people, how the CAC gets involved with scholarships and such. And it's a wonderful, wonderful, thing to be a part of every year. And that's why I'm so dedicated to it. So I was actually very surprised. I'll always be a lifetime member and work very hard for it. But how you doing? Sorry, someone. I legit was shocked. I legit was surprised, and I'm very flattered. CAC means the world to me, so this is very, very flattering, and I'm very humbled.
Well, I know, like I said, you've got to get ready to be honored tonight. We congratulate you. While we've got you here, before we let you go, is there where can we find you on social media? And go ahead and say anything you would like to your worldwide fans while you're here.
Sure. Well, as far as social media, I have a Facebook fan page. I have 2 Twitter accounts. They're both mine, but the one I use most of the time is called Future Legend CF. And for all of my wrestling matches, I have tons and tons of wrestling matches, obviously. You can find all your professional women's wrestling, videos on www.clickwrestle.com. And then I also want to give a shout-out to another great supporter, Online World of Wrestling, and almost every single piece of information and history on professional wrestlers. It's a great historic background on everybody, so that's a great website, Online World of Wrestling.
And is there anything you want to say to your fans?
Fans, I love you. I love everybody in the business as my brother and sister. Thank you so much for supporting my career. Thank you for, being yourself. And, I love doing what I do. It's entertaining the people. So, I wouldn't be here, definitely wouldn't be here and being honored without the support of the fans.
All right, Melissa. Well, we do appreciate you taking a few minutes. We know you're very busy. You have a wonderful evening, and congratulations again. No one is more deserving at this time in wrestling than you for all the work you've been doing. I've been following your career for years. Congratulations, and enjoy your time. Enjoy it.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's very sweet words.
Thank
all
you.
Right, I'm passing the phone over.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was cheerleader Melissa. She's being honored tonight She is a future legend. She has worked very, very hard over the last few years, and she has had some of the best matches in the country. Michael, we started off with a bang. I know you've got somebody else standing by.
Yes, I do, man, and it's a great segue. Coming up now, she won the Future Legend Award at the CAC this year. Welcome to IHWE Radio, Santana Garrett.
Hello, hello.
Well, hello, Santana. Welcome to IHWE Radio. David Fuller here. I'll ask you the same thing I've been asking everybody else because it is a big deal for people that care. What does it mean to you not only to be there at the Cauliflower Alley Club, but to be honored? What does it mean to you?
Oh, my goodness. Super unexpected, and it means a lot. I mean, you look at some of the people who have won it before me. This is big shoes to fill, and it was really cool. They announced my name, and I'm just like, I'm so excited. I'm like I'm all the way in the back. I'm like clapping for myself as I'm going up, like a little kid, just so excited. And then the really cool part was I was presented the plaque, and all of the former winners, Future Legend winners, were actually there on stage. So I got to, shake everybody's hand and stand up there with them and do my little speech. It's absolutely amazing, and blown away at the fact that I actually won it. And now I'm a Future Legend, which is freaking awesome.
That is awesome. I've been watching what you've been doing over the past few years, and I know recently you have been working with TNA, which is awesome. It's
Brittany.
awesome to see somebody like you. It's awesome to see somebody, get that opportunity. What's the future hold for you?
Well, I guess I'll have to wait and see. So far, you know what? This has been a heck of a year. I thought last year was good. Man, 2014 has been good to me. And I have put in some work, and I feel like I have a good head on my shoulders. I've kept a positive attitude, and we'll wait and see. Maybe there's a belt in my future. Who knows? Time will tell, I guess.
That's true. Well, you've worked very hard, and you have a lot of dedication. All your fans
and I will
all
continue to do that.
Yes. Real quick, how can we know you got to get ready for the banquet. How can people find you via social media?
On Twitter, it's at Brittany TNA, BRITTANY TNA, and on Facebook, I believe it's the same thing, Brittany TNA Knockout. Or just Google me and everything will pop up.
Right. Thank God for Google.
Everything, like nothing here. Well, that sounded bad. Everything will pop up.
It's all right.
I'm a good
quick,
girl, so.
Definitely. Anything you want to say to your fans worldwide right now while you're on the air?
Just thank you all so much for the continued love and support. It means the world to me, and I really would not be where I am right now without any of you. I love you all. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on being honored, and have a wonderful evening at the CAC.
Oh, I will. Thank you so much.
No problem. Well, all right, Michael, you have, so far as physical, the show's been the greatest it has of all time. Where are we going next?
Next, we're going to head up to a little place called Canada. We're going to talk to a member of the legendary Hart family. Please welcome to IHWE Radio, Ross Hart.
Hi, it's Ross
how
Hart.
Are you?
I am just great. How are you?
I'm doing all right. David Fuller here. Thank you for joining us tonight on IHWE Radio. It's hectic up there in Las Vegas right now, so I thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Oh, it's my pleasure, David.
Ross, your family's name is synonymous with professional wrestling. We've read and seen so much from the Hart family over the years. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. The first one I'm asking everybody, and especially for you, someone who has this in their blood, what does it mean to you to be at the Cauliflower Alley Club? I assume you've been there a number of years. What does it mean to you to attend every year?
Well, yeah, I think this is about my 12th straight year I've gone. To me, it's a celebration of the legends, some who've unfortunately passed away and some who are still with us, and that we honor at these events and to embrace the new generation, the new crop of stars who are going to be future legends, and they have the opportunity to get some exposure at these events. We had a card here 2 nights ago, which was fantastic. Some of the matches were as good as I've seen on any independent show in the last few months. It was just a phenomenal card, and it really showcased some future stars. And it's a great opportunity to meet and greet old friends in the business, whether it was wrestlers or correspondents or reporters or journalists like yourself, just different people you've associated with over the years, and it's great because you see some old friends and you see some new ones, and you make some new ones as well.
Ross, I was trained by Johnny Valentine, and of
wow.
course your father, Stu Hart. Nobody knows unless you know. Obviously, he was your father. Johnny was my trainer, so there's a different relationship. But, I mean, people don't know what wrestling meant to these warriors, and that's what they were. They were warriors in the ring. They didn't do this as a hobby. This was their living. If you had to explain to somebody who didn't know the guys like Stu Hart and the guys like Johnny Valentine, how would you?
They took the wrestling industry very seriously. It was an art, and it was in an era where there was a strong protection of the business, very clearly defined roles as heels and baby faces, and what you did in the ring didn't get taken out of the ring, so to speak. It was a time when people really believed in wrestling. They believed in the rivalries, the competitiveness of the matches, the championships that were at stake. It's a different exhibition now. It's seen more as as entertainment, and people's beliefs aren't as suspended as they were in the 50s and 60s and 70s. So guys like Johnny Valentine, like my dad, like Lee Thez and Buddy Rogers, and it's just so many performers. They worked hard at their craft. They took the industry very seriously, and they got themselves over, in whatever their roles were. But they were true professionals. They were true athletes, and they added some flamboyance or color or some charisma or personality to their roles, especially with the advent of TV. But they were true performers, very dedicated to their craft, and we owe so much to the path that they created for all the future stars. If it wasn't for some of those legends in the 50s, 60s, and early 70s, the industry certainly wouldn't have survived, especially with the competition of other sports. And, I have the utmost respect and regard for all those pioneers who paved the way for the rest of us decades later.
Yes, I agree with those sentiments exactly. Is there 2 questions real quick? We know you're probably going to attend the banquet, so you need to go ahead and get ready. Is there any way fans can find you on social media and communicate with you?
On Facebook. I don't respond to everybody, but I try to get back to as many as I can. If fans did see me at Cauliflower Alley, then they can certainly highlight or indicate that. I get a high volume of emails, and I can't respond to all of them,
Sure.
But those who I've met at functions like the Cauliflower Alley and the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, where I was a couple of weeks ago, and my dad received the Pioneer era with Leroy McCurdy.
Yes.
Congratulations. I like to share those experiences and memories with fans and wrestlers alike. So definitely try me on Facebook, and we'll go from there. And 2 other wrestlers who I'm very happy to see here, Terry Funk and J.J. Dillon, two definite pioneers from the 70s. You know, Terry was a former world champion, and I really have so much regard and respect for both Terry and Dory. They're two of the classiest world champions, two of the best workers in the industry. They did so much for the industry in Japan and all over North America. And Harley Race is certainly missing him this year, but you know, I just have so many fond memories of these guys. They were two professionals, but they're great athletes and performers, and you know, they were just so kind and giving with other boys, and it's great to see these type of stars at the Cauliflower Alley functions. It's really great that they sign autographs, take pictures with fans, and they allow us to celebrate their success and their fame.
All right, Ross. Well, I want to thank you for joining us. We know there's a lot going on out there, but I want to thank you for taking a few minutes to join us. You have a wonderful night, and
my pleasure.
Hopefully we'll get you back on sometime and talk. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. Take care.
Thank you. You as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we were just joined by Ross Hart, a member of the legendary wrestling royalty as the Hart family. Michael, do we have anybody else standing by?
Oh, we have a couple people standing by, man. You know what? I'm going to let you make the choice. We can either have you speak with NWA President Bruce Tharp, or we can have you talk with honoree this year, the first-time ever trainer honoree, Ron Hutchinson. You make the call.
You're going to get me heat either way. Well, if I tell you what, let's talk to Ron really quick, because we know he's got a big night, and just tell Bruce to hang right there. He knows me. Tell him to hang out there for a couple minutes. We'll talk to Ron real quick.
Wow, that's putting somebody on. Talk about putting somebody on the spot. Hello.
All right. Hey, is this Ron?
It is, yes.
Hey, Ron, man, I've talked to you so much on Facebook. It's finally nice to actually hear your voice.
Awesome. Nice chatting with you finally.
Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, he's being honored tonight with the Trainers Award. Ron Hutchinson, he's trained a list of superstars, Mile High. Number one, congratulations. I told you this earlier on Facebook. Congratulations. What does it mean
Thank
to
you so much.
What does it mean to you? Obviously, this means a lot to you. You've been in the business for a long time. What does it mean to you tonight to get honored in front of your peers? You've said a little bit on Facebook, but now that you're here, what does it mean to you to get honored tonight?
You know, it's something that when I entered this business 33 years ago, I could have never in my wildest imagination dreamed that I'd be standing here in front of so many of my peers, friends, colleagues, you know, here at the Cauliflower Alley Club. And I think there's a lot of great wrestling trainers out there, past and present, some of which will be sitting in this room tonight. So for me to be named the inaugural trainer and knowing the 49-year history of the Cauliflower Alley Club, it's just mind-boggling to me. And I'm so honored and very, very honored. I really can't put it into words how blessed I am. And I worry when I take that podium tonight to accept the award. Hopefully, I'm going to bring a box of tissues with me because I think I'm a pretty emotional guy, and you know, this is just amazing. I could never foresee it happening, and now that it's about ready to become a reality, and we're just as I speak, just a couple hours away. I'm nervous as hell to get up there. I'll tell you the truth, because I'd rather be behind the scenes than out in front. I've always worked that way. I let I run the show in the back and do things, and then I let others take the spotlight. So this is, after 33 years in the business, without a doubt, the pinnacle of my wrestling career.
Well, it's well-deserved, Ron. Like I said, I know you got to get ready for tonight, so one more thing. What do you want to say to all your peers, all your fans? There's a lot of people out there that love and respect you. What do you want to say just hours before you take that stage? What do you want to say to everybody listening?
I want to thank each and every person that has either ever come into the gym, all the veterans that come before me in the wrestling business, all the wrestling fans, basically each and everybody associated with the business. And of course, the CAC board of directors and anybody who had any voting on selecting me as the inaugural trainer. It's just amazing. You know, there's there's not many true firsts that can be. There's not many true firsts that you can realize. Everything in wrestling, they say usually, oh, it's a first time thing. Well, you find they're saying that, but most often it's been done before, different ways. But this truly is the first time they've ever presented an award to a wrestling trainer, and for me to be the very first recipient of that, for those making the decision and all those who have helped me, get to where I am today, my sincere thank you. And God bless each and every one of you.
Well, Ron, we're going to catch up one day, hang out, meet each other. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. I'll speak to you more on Facebook. Good. Congratulations, sir.
Awesome.
It's well deserved.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I wish you were able to hear here tonight. God bless you, too. I'm going to put you back on the Michael. Okay?
Sounds good. Thank you, Ron.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
You too. All right, Michael, do you got Bruce standing by?
We do have Bruce standing by. Are you ready for this interview?
I am ready for this interview. We've been talking to each other for weeks.
Hello, David.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the president of the National Wrestling Alliance. He has been instrumental in so many changes over the last couple of years of the NWA. The NWA is seeing new light thanks to this man in his office and the superstars behind it. I have so much respect for him. We've been talking for a while. This is the first time we've actually heard each other's voice. Bruce, welcome to IHWE Radio.
David, such a pleasure to be with you. I know that we've meant to speak to each other, but as you know, I've been traveling so much back and forth to Japan. We just have not been able to put it together. But we're here at the Cauliflower Alley Club reunion this week, and we're having such a great time here. So many personalities walking around here, and as you know, I'm a huge supporter of the Cauliflower Alley Club. The National Wrestling Alliance is a huge supporter as well because they do so many good things for wrestlers that are in need. Personally, I know of wrestlers that have received assistance with medical care and medicine and surgeries and things like that when they haven't been able to afford it. So we are proud, really proud to support the Cauliflower Alley Club. I know you're a lifetime member yourself, David, and that's a real good thing.
It is. Now, this past week there was a big deal at the Cauliflower Alley Club. Kojima came down, had a couple of successful title defenses in different parts of the country. He was down here this past weekend in Houston, Texas, had a hard-fought contest with Carson, an up-and-coming prospect down here, and then he went to Las Vegas, Nevada. He rolled in thinking he was going to roll back to Japan, but Rob Conway came ready to fight. And there's a new champion in the NWA. NWA made history at the Cauliflower Alley Club. I know you're happy about that.
Well, happy is probably not a strong enough word, David. Ecstatic would probably have to be the word. History was made this week in Las Vegas, Nevada, when the Iron Man, Rob Conway, had his opportunity with an impartial referee. As you know, we've been in Japan quite a bit. Unfortunately, Satoshi Kojima, while we do give him a lot of credit, he defeated the Iron Man for the world title back in January at the Tokyo Dome in front of 42,000 screaming Japanese fans live and millions more that were watching on television. And Mr. Conway and I have been going back and forth to Japan, diligently trying to regain that NWA World Heavyweight Championship. But the truth of the matter is we've been dealing with a lot of impartiality over in Japan. The referees over there seem to favor the Japanese wrestlers a little bit more, but we've got them back on U.S. soil. Satoshi Kojima defended the belt against Conway right here in Las Vegas. We had an NWA referee officiate the match. History was made, and Rob Conway beat Kojima for the world title after delivering the ego trip neck breaker and pinned him in the middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3. So, yeah, we're so happy that the world title is now back in the United States where it rightfully belongs.
Fantastic. I read the news, I saw it, and wow, unbelievable. Well, Bruce,
David,
I really hope.
Hang on a second.
Yes, sir.
David, I've got a surprise for you. I don't want to get you too excited, but I would like to surprise you with the main event guest on your program. Standing right next to me is the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the Iron Man, Rob Conway. Would you like to ask him a couple of questions?
I would. Thank you, sir. Yes.
David, I'll be talking to you real soon. Hold on a second, and I'm going to be putting the Iron Man on the line.
Thank you, Mr. Sark.
Hello, David. This is the Iron Man, Rob Conway, the newly crowned NBA World's Heavyweight Champion. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right, Mr. Conway. Number one, congratulations. And number two, thank you for taking the time to join us.
No, I appreciate it. It's an honor to even get a title match, and let alone get to win the championship at a prestigious event like the Cauliflower Alley Club reunion.
You have worked so hard. I used to watch you on WWE, and I was the night that you interrupted the Legends in Dallas with Kevin Von Erich. I was in the crowd, and I tell people all the time that was the biggest ovation when Rob Conway came out and did the thing with the Legends. And since then, you've been working so hard to help the NWA, to help a lot of the a lot of promotions that aren't the NWA, independent promotions, really step up, and you've done a lot for independent wrestling, and it's well appreciated. And now, this past week, you've been going back and forth to Japan. Bruce was talking about politics over in Japan, and I can only imagine. So you got Kojima back on U.S. soil. Legendary James Beard was the official. You went in, you had a plan, you won the title. What does it mean to you? Like you said, it's an honor just to get a title shot. Not only did you get one, you got one in Las Vegas during one of the biggest wrestling weeks of the year, and you win it. You must be on cloud nine right now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is the biggest match that I've had thus far. I mean, you're only as good as your last match, and my last match was winning the World's Heavyweight Championship, in front of not only great wrestling fans, but the kind of the past, present, and future of professional wrestlers who were there. So a chance to have such a big match in front of your peers, in front of people that you looked up to, in the business, and then guys that maybe are looking up to you, and you get a chance to go out there and show what you got and all your hard work paying off. It's, it's exciting and it's humbling.
That is awesome. Well, I know you got a lot going on. Any idea where you're going to be next, where fans can catch you as the NWA Heavyweight Champion next, or is that something you're working out right now?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as the match was over and I got back to my room, the emails and the Facebook messages and things. So now, it's going to really change my schedule as far as starting to go to different NWA promotions. I know that I already had a match scheduled for July 4th with NWA Empire Wrestling in Arkansas. So now I'm sure that they'll want to change that to a World's Heavyweight Championship match. So definitely there, and I think my schedule, although it was pretty booked up, it's gonna change and get packed.
Of course. Okay. Real quick, where can people find you on social media?
They can find me on Twitter at The Rob Conway, and then Facebook is Rob Conway 2. I have one, Robert Thomas Conway, that got filled up because, that's the one thing about Facebook is that you have a fan page, but people want to be friends, and I usually do my best to respond to anything that any question, or people ask advice about wrestling or where I'm going to be next, or even workout tips and diet and stuff like that. If at all possible, I'll do everything I can to help them. And then also, if for any type of event bookings, whether it be wrestling or just personal appearances or conventions, ConwayNWA@gmail.com. Usually one that's pretty easy to remember.
Exactly. Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, also, you can go to www.nwaringside.com to keep up with all the latest news of the National Wrestling Alliance. Champ, congratulations. Enjoy the rest of your week in Las Vegas. But again, thank you for joining us, and congratulations.
I appreciate it, and just let everybody know out there, if they're going to do it, you got to do it the Conway.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we were just joined by Bruce Tharp, and then, surprise, new NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Rob Conway, who just won the belt this past week during the Cauliflower Alley Club in Las Vegas, Nevada. He defeated Kojima. and James Beard was the referee. So, wow. Michael, are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm right here.
Oh, we got any more guests?
Oh, yes, we do. Joining us right now is Canadian wrestling star and a trainee of a friend of the show. Big Bill Anderson was his trainer. Please welcome to IHWE Radio, gorgeous Michelle Starr.
Hello, Michelle.
Hello, how are you doing? Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Fantastic. It's always good to be here in Las Vegas.
What does it mean to you? Obviously, you were trained by one of the best, in my opinion, Big Bill Anderson. I love Bill. I've never met him, but we've spoken a number of times, and I just love his attitude, and I love his knowledge. He's such a great guy. What does it mean to you, who was trained by somebody who respects the business as much as Bill does? You're there in Las Vegas right now. There's legends. There's future stars. There's mentors. There's proteges. What does it mean to you to be in Las Vegas this week right now?
Well, being in Las Vegas is very important to me and very important in my life. Bill Anderson meant a lot to me. I met him when I was a 15-year-old kid in Los Angeles. He took me under his wing. We had a lot of wrestling jobs together, whatever you putting up a ring, doing jackets, timekeeping, and eventually in the wrestling. You know, he paved the way for me and showed me how it was to become a professional wrestler. You know, we trained me in East Los Angeles in a dirty old automotive garage where the luchadors trained, and we trained there 3 days a week, and just taught me a lot of respect about the business and how hard it is to get into it and how hard it is to stay into it, and always to respect the ones and who have paved the path for you before you. Guys spent the years taking the bumps and driving the roads and risking their lives and their health just make this industry work. That's why I come to CAC every year, to just pay my respect to them and show my gratitude towards the legends of the past, and hopefully meet the legends of the future.
You know, people that Bill has trained and worked with over the years, it reads a list of who's who. You're training with Bill. You know that Bill had a hand in training the legendary late great Ultimate Warrior. You know Bill had a hand in training Sting. You're training with Bill. I mean, does it really get to you while you're in training with Bill that, hey, I'm getting mentored by the guy who mentored these guys? What was going through your mind during training?
Well, it definitely does now. I mean, Bill was a personal friend of mine, and I was trained in the class right after Ultimate Warrior and Sting and Strangle Caesar Salvo and Angel of Death. They were all in the class right before me. I was in class after them. I was trained with Ricky Itaki and a Superstar Destroyer, Stephen De Leon, who's passed away. And right after me was like Louis Spicoli, who was Rad Radford. He was the class after me. So I was kind of in between two famous classes, and you know, it definitely shows you that the respect that my trainer has from because of the legends he's trained and the guys who say great things about him even today. You know, I mean, it was just an honor to be trained by such a gentleman, for sure.
All right. Real quick, how can people reach you via social media?
Well, you can reach me on Twitter at GM Star. That's GM Star with 2 R's. You can follow us, our wrestling promotion, All-Star Wrestling. It's allstar-wrestling.com. We run Western Canada. We run about 5 shows a month right now. You can check out all the shows you go to. And you can also follow me on Facebook. On Facebook, it's Michelle Starr, just like that, Michelle Starr, just like a name.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for joining us. I know there's a lot going on right now, so go enjoy the banquet and enjoy the rest of your trip, and hopefully we'll have you back on some other time to talk more about what you learned from Bill Anderson. And thank you again for joining us.
Thank you, David. Bye now.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was a pupil of Big Bill Anderson, a good friend of our show, Michelle Starr. Yeah, we're rocking and rolling here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, what do we got next, Michael?
Man, yeah, as a lifetime member, you know, you do get the newsletter every month and all that. And right now I'm going to put on the line the man who takes the time and takes responsibility to put together that newsletter. Please welcome to IHWE Radio, Eric Schneal.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Eric, how's it going?
It's going good. I'm having a good time here in Las Vegas, doing the Cauliflower Alley Club this year, and this is a real good vibe here this year. It's been one of the more memorable occasions. I don't know if you've heard about what went on last night. Very emotional presentation for Bob Kelly last night. Jason Sanderson naming a mission in Africa after his late wife who passed away a few months ago, and it's just been a really warm vibe here so far, so I'm having a great time.
Well, yes, I did hear about it. I'm a lifetime member myself. I'm actually promoting a live wrestling event this coming weekend in Fort Worth, and I'm down here promoting. So I was unable to come this year, but I'm doing my part, helping Michael with these simulcasts. But I did hear about that, and I'm just so honored to be a lifetime member of a group that loves each other so much, and it's just an honor. You have been putting together the ear. How long have you been doing that?
I've been at it for about 2 years. Dean Silverstone had, for the previous, I think it's 16 or 17 years, one or the other, had been doing the ear. And at this point, he got to the point where he needed to take over some other duties as the treasurer of the club. So he trusted me enough to give me the ear, and I'm very honored to be doing this. And it's a little bit of work, but it's a blast for me because this past issue, I interviewed Terry Taylor. I've gotten a chance to talk to so many people, Brian Blair, Baron von Raschke, for all kinds of interviews and various articles. And it's really been a great experience for me because these are all people that, I've enjoyed watching in the ring for so many years, and people that I've, idolized really. And, to get a chance to kind of go behind the curtain with the folks of this stature in the business has really been a thrill for me. So it's a little bit of work to put the issues together, but I'm really fortunate to have the opportunity to do it, just because it gives me such intimate access to people that maybe I wouldn't have had the opportunity to meet or certainly not to talk to at the length that I get to talk to them. So I'm very fortunate in that way.
When did you have any experience? Did you do anything in the wrestling business before you did this?
Other than I actually had my own sheet that I did, which was my living for 13 years. I had a few thousand subscribers, and the internet kind of killed me off because and you've seen this happen to other sheets as well. A lot of them are, a couple of them, most notably the Torch, who I sold my business to, Wade Keller, and also the Observer, are still alive and kicking. Most of the other ones are gone. The internet has really changed the way everything works with regard to print media. Print media is, shrinking because the internet is growing. But that was what I did for 13 years, and knowing that, I think that was part of what convinced Dean to give me the opportunity to do the newsletter for the Cauliflower Alley Club, and they placed a lot of trust in me with that. So I'm honored that that's the case, and it's worked out great. And the feedback that I've gotten has been very positive, and it's great just to be involved in an organization like this. As the year editor, I've gotten a chance to be a part of the board of directors, which has been great because, every year we hand out thousands of dollars in benevolent money to wrestlers, sometimes mostly former wrestlers, sometimes current wrestlers who, are having medical issues or one issue or another, and they're in dire financial straits. And this is something that we're very proud to be able to do to help people. I mean, that's really what the organization is here for, and we have scholarships for high school wrestlers to help them attend college, and just it's such great work.
It is. It really is. We had Dave Meltzer on our show a few weeks ago, and I've been reading the sheets for years now. So I have a lot of respect for journalists. That's what you guys are. You're journalists, and I have a lot of respect for the journalists. Sometimes they make shows that aren't really worthy by your words. So I really appreciate it. Well, I want to thank you for joining us. I get the newsletter every time it comes out. I enjoy reading it. I just sent you a friend request on Facebook. Maybe we can chat more sometime. And
sure.
Just want to thank you for joining us.
I appreciate
Eric,
the kind
thank
words.
you for everything you do.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me on. All right.
Yes, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm back.
Eric. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for the warning. You got any more guests?
Well, yes, I do, man. In fact, I got a very important guest here right now. In a recent issue of Tucson Weekly, there was a cover story on a man referred to as the King of Belts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to IHWE Radio, Reggie Parks.
Oh, wow. Reggie, welcome to IHWE Radio. How's it going?
It's going good here. We're having a ball.
Well, Reggie, your name.
I was going to tell you some stories, I guess. Well, I just finished the newspaper, Tucson Weekly, which is a little rag that's given away free at convenience stores and restaurants and, that kind of magazine. So they put me on a full cover page and a 3-page story in there. And so I'm giving them away here. So somebody recruited me.
All right, well, your name is synonymous with professional wrestling. You have your work is. Go ahead.
We've been making belts, wrestled for 50 years, and making belts for 50 years. I guess that deserves a little recognition, right?
Well, what got you interested in making belts? I mean, where did this start?
Well, the story goes like this. So we had I was in Omaha, Nebraska, working in the Midwest as a tag team with my friend Doug Gilbert at the time, and promoter Joe Dusick had this humongous trophy that was his idea of a trophy for tag team wrestling, and it was like 6 foot tall. I don't know where he got this thing, but it was a bear. You'd have to take it apart to carry it. It wouldn't fit in your car, and you'd have to put it together, bring it 2-3 people, carry the pieces, and set it up in the ring. Of course, you got in the ring, the bad guys would kick it over, and it would all fall apart and roll around the ring. You have to put it together. So I said, well, can't do this too much longer, so let's build a couple of tag team belts. Joe Dusick says, well, if you can make something that looks presentable, we'll use it. So my belts look presentable. So then we went up from there. We wrestled in Omaha one night against Harley Race and Larry Henning, and they had the title belts from the Minneapolis office. And when they saw mine, they said, hell, we're not even going to wear their belts because mine look better. So then that went on, and then pretty soon Vern Gagne from Minneapolis said, gee, those belts, that's a hell of a looking belt. How about making us a couple? And then Dick Byers, the Destroyer, came and saw that, and he was going to Japan. So he said, make me one, I'm going to take it to Japan. So that went, and then the international recognition started from there. So I made belts for everybody in the world here in the last 50 years, so, including football teams and hockey teams. And we made one here not too long ago for the Phoenix Coyotes hockey team. I made a couple of belts for the singer Madonna. You remember her?
Yes.
And let's see who else. Yes. And a bunch of football teams and baseball title. I mean, you name it. It's belts have been made. Made a bunch of them. Over 40 years, 50 years. So we're still doing it.
Does it bring you? Not to cut you off, does it bring you joy when, nowadays, a lot of the companies, World Wrestling Entertainment, have, namely, they have, they make the replicas now and they sell them. They make replicas of some of the belts from the past. Well, does that give you a good feeling?
Well, it does. You heard of the company Figures Inc.?
Yes.
That manufactures. They had them manufactured in replicas. They were made in Japan and China, excuse me. And sold through them, and of course they were our design, so we got a piece of the action for that. And that was that lasted
really
for about 6-7 years. That was a great thing. Now they got into a squabble with WWE to the rights on that, and WWE won. So Figures Inc. is out, and we're out of the money as far as getting the royalty on the replicas. So, other than that, So everything else, where are you located?
I'm actually in Fort Worth, Texas, world-class territory.
Really? Oh, boy. Well, I spent some time there. Sure did. At the old arena down there. At the, what do they call it? What do you used to call that place there? The Sportatorium, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, did you work for Fritz or did you work for Ed McLemore?
I still got. If you tune up on eBay or not eBay, what is it? YouTube. You'll see Fritz on there kicking my butt.
Did you ever wrestle Johnny Valentine?
Oh boy, I got so much stories about him. He was great. Yes, sir. I was in the ring with him. Oh God, it was like 1957 or 56 when I first started, and it was around Seattle. And then, were you ever around him at all? You know him?
He trained me. He actually trained me. He broke me into the wrestling business in 1998.
He used to say, his favorite saying, "Stay on your feet, kid. You'll last longer and you'll look stronger.
Don't go to the top rope. Don't go to the floor."
Then he'd say, don't don't be, get down slowly. And boy, he says, when promoters didn't know this, he says, but my knees went bad and I had to change my style. So that was when he started pounding on people and getting pounded back. So you know about that. Okay, so we're winding up here, and I'm getting the signal. So nice talking to you, and thank you so much,
Reggie. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Reggie.
Thank you. Okay.
Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Reggie Parks. He was a wrestler for a number of years, but you may know him, most notably some of the younger fans. He has made belts for 50 years, and his belts just are an institution in our business. Michael, you got anybody else?
Yes, I do. Last night at the Bologna Blowout, it was announced that in 2015, Brian Blair will be stepping up as president of the Cauliflower Alley Club, and Morgan Dollar will be taking over the office of Carl Lauer as executive vice president. And tonight, to close our show, I bring to you on IHWE Radio Vice President-elect of the Cauliflower Alley Club, Morgan Dollar.
Morgan.
Hey, guys, man.
What's up?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good. How about you? Congratulations.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I really do. We having a great time out here, and of course, tonight's going to be the big blow-off, the big main event. We're getting ready to get it cranked up shortly. Michael, man, he's been pushing IHWE, the Southern Wrestling Hall of Fame deal you guys has got going on. He's been pushing everything. Everybody's been hanging around the tables the past 2 days just eating this up and enjoying it and looking forward to it. And, man, everything's going good. It really is. I really wished you was here.
I wish too. Michael's sending me back pictures, and I'm hearing stories. It's all over social media, and I wish too. I'm down here trying to make sure we have a good house on Sunday. But I really appreciate you taking the time to do the announcement with Michael and James Beard. I know you're really busy, so I really do appreciate that. We got that out. That video has already been viewed over 500 times since we posted it. So,
wow.
Yeah. So
that's pretty cool.
What's going on? What's going on? Tonight's the main event. So what exactly is going on tonight? What exactly is happening?
Of course, the main award tonight's going to Terry Taylor. He'll be getting the Iron Mike Award, and Michael Freebird P.S. Hayes from down in Texas, one of the Freebirds, will be getting the Lou Thez Lifetime Achievement Award. And, of course, we got right off the top, Ron Hutchinson getting the first ever CAC award. Michael's got the list probably. I don't, man. I've got so much going on and meeting and greeting with everybody and pushing CAC. And I try to push CAC, and people's talking about, what's this deal going on down in Texas about IHWE? And I've got, I've got papers. Hey, man, I've got papers with notes in my pockets. People writing notes. I'm writing notes. So get in touch with IHWE. Let me know what's going on. So after this week, I'm sure I'll be talking to you next week, trying to figure out all these notes I got in my pocket. People asking questions, wanting to know about Texas wrestling.
Definitely. And we want, hopefully you can come down here in September. We were talking about that this week. Hopefully Morgan can come down here in September and be part of our old school hustle show. That would be great.
Oh, man, I'd love it. I really would. And I gotta get over this weekend, see what my schedule's like, and who knows, Morgan Dollar might come to Texas.
That would be great. Well, Morgan, we know you're really busy. I want to thank you. We're going to wrap up here. I want to thank you. I want to congratulate you on the position you'll be taking over next year. That's awesome. It couldn't happen to a better person. You've been great. And congratulations on this year's success of the CAC. Have a ball tonight. Have a safe trip home, and I'll be talking to you soon.
All right, buddy. You take care. Appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Morgan. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap up this first hour from the 49th annual Cauliflower Alley Club. Michael, I know you're about to clear up your table and go get ready for the banquet tonight. What are your closing words?
Well, actually, man, before I give some closing words, you see, I'm a man of many surprises, and today we did a promo with Andrea the Giant. People are going to love it. Andrea the Giant is coming to IHWE Radio. That video will be posted soon. You're going to love it, man. But, I had to have a surprise up my sleeve for you, David. Something that's going to make you work a little bit. So I definitely have a main event for you right now. Our last guest of the evening, I'm going to put on the 2014 Cauliflower Alley Club Cribbage Tournament winner, Tim Polkerbeck.
Hello, sir.
All right. Hello, how's it going?
It's going wonderful. I'm in the nostalgia room, and it looks like it's pretty much closing up, but you can just tell how much fun was had here in the last 2 days, or actually I guess 3 days, and I'm kind of bittersweet because it's sad to see it coming to an end for another year, but the memories that were made this year are going to last forever. I know that for sure.
All right. What does it mean to you every year, this year specifically, with people like Terry Funk, with Jim Ross, with Jerry Briscoe, with J.J. Dillon? Obviously, last night there was an emotional award presented to Cowboy Bob Kelly. Tonight, Michael P.S. Hayes, Terry Taylor are getting honored. This past week, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship changed hands. What does it mean to you to be in Las Vegas with all this stuff happening at the CAC?
Well, it's really all about the friendships, and I mean, just thinking of Chris Kelly, and even how much I could call her a friend just from getting to know her through this, and how emotional that really was last night, and just growing up a fan and not being directly connected to the business. I mean, I was just honored to get to see that, and now I can call people like Jason Sanderson, my friend, and Gerald Briscoe, my friend, and Jim Ross, my friend, and stuff like that, and just growing up. I mean, just the honor and that I have for these guys, and then for them to come and treat me like one of their own is just, I mean, I can't put that into words, but it's just, I mean, it brought tears to my eyes yesterday when they did make the presentation. And I know I probably knew Chris a lot less than a lot of the other people did, but she was still very special to me just from the few conversations that we were able to have.
All right. Well, is there anything you want to say to our worldwide audience right now before we let you go and close up this first hour?
Well, I just know that they're going to have to put on a great main event tonight if they want to beat this undercard, because the last 3 days have been wonderful. And if you've ever, 3 years ago, I made the decision to come out here and had to balance my work schedule and figure out how to get here from Minnesota. But it is worth it, and I hope that everyone just gives it a chance. Next year is the big 50th. I know I'm looking so forward to that. But it's more than just a wrestling fest. It's a chance to make friends forever, and that's the thing that's going to always be in my heart. And so I'm just so thankful for all the friendships that I've made.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. Enjoy the banquet tonight. Have a safe trip home, and I'm glad you're enjoying your trip.
Okay, thank you, too, and thank you for your radio show. I listen to it as much as I can on the Internet, and I look forward to hearing all about this weekend from you guys, too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, Michael, you're getting ready to clear off the table and get up to your room. It's going to take you about an hour to shower because you're a big dude. So what are your closing words?
Closing words tonight, man, I just want to say the last 2 nights here at the CAC 49th Annual Reunion, Las Vegas, Nevada, have been great. We started off a little rocky yesterday. We picked it up today. We had a stellar show. I mean, look at the lineup we had, man. We had the new NWA Heavyweight Champion, Rob Conway. We had Reggie Parks. We had Ross Hart. Last night we had the Destroyer. We pulled this off. I want to thank you. I want to thank Brian Westcott. I want to thank the listeners out there for tuning in. This has been a wonderful 2 days. I am already in the works with Morgan Dollar talking to Brian Blair. We are going to be back here next year for the CAC 50th. Man, we did 2 nights. I'm thinking 3 nights next year. Let's do it. But, man, I'm out. I'm ready for the banquet. Time to go up. Like you said, takes an hour to shower. Got to look pretty. I sent you a picture earlier. You know what I'm hanging out with, so I got to look good.
I do. All right. Well, go enjoy the banquet and have a safe trip home. I'll talk to you soon.
I will, man. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our first hour. Real quick, before we get to our second hour, we're going to be joined by a member of the Submission Squad from Missouri, St. Louis, Gary J. Robo Ginger, one of the best wrestlers in the country right now. Ladies and gentlemen, our first hour has been off the chain. Cheerleader Melissa Santana Garrett, Reggie Parks, Bruce Tharp, new NWA Heavyweight Champion Rob Conway, who defeated Kojima this past week in Las Vegas to win the title. Whew. This Sunday is the IHW Experience live from the Sendera Center in Fort Worth, Texas. IHWEnow.com for all the information. IHW Heavyweight Champion Matt Riviera will be in action. Also, Spoiler 2000 goes one-on-one with Tim Storm. Johnny Gargano makes his Texas wrestling debut, going one-on-one with Thomas Shire. A Terry Gordy Memorial Cup Battle Royal. Somebody's going to walk out and have their name in the history books along with Terry Bam Bam Gordy, one of the greatest wrestlers to ever lace up a pair of boots. That's all coming up this Sunday at the Sendera Center, 3600 Benbrook Highway, Fort Worth, Texas, 76116. It's going to be off the chain. Don't you miss it. We're going to be right back in a matter of moments with our 7 p.m., 30-minute guest, Gary J. We will be right back with more IHW Radio. Hour number, the end of the first hour, going up into our last 30 minutes, coming up next.
Now, get up out your seats. Coming to the ring. Now, but I'm wondering if you can bring in with 1 win, no losses. Undefeated in the streets, weighing in over 300 pounds. IHWE Radio. When the round bell is ringing in the ring, then I be singing. I'm here to get that crowd loud. I'm wondering if you can bring it. When the round bell is ringing in the ring, then I be singing. But I'm here to get that crowd loud. But I'm wondering if you can bring it. When the round bell is ringing in the ring, then I be singing. I'm here to get that crowd loud. But I'm wondering if you can bring it. When the round bell is ringing in the ring, then I be singing. But I'm here to get that crowd loud. But I'm wondering if you can bring it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with more IHW Radio. And we are about to roll here with our second hour. I'm going to go ahead and give our guest a call. Bear with me 1 second. I'm pulling a solo while Michael's in Las Vegas, Cauliflower Alley Club. We are about to call our next guest. Bear with us 1 second while we begin the second hour. Excuse me, this 30-minute, 90-minute episode. Last week, Jim Cornette. Week we did 2 nights. Cauliflower Alley Club. We review the Cauliflower Alley Club and IHW Experience.
Hello?
Gary, this is Dave with IHW Radio. You're on the air.
Drop my phone. What's up? What's going on?
Okay, you're on IHW Radio. How's it going?
Going pretty good, other than just drop my phone like an idiot, but good.
All right. I do that at least twice a week. At least.
Yeah, my phone's built for it, though. Cause
yeah, I need to get one of those hard cases. You know, I just never drop my phone enough. You think I would actually wise up and go buy one of those hard cases, but it's the last thing on my mind. So, yeah, anyway. All right, we're on the phone with Gary J. He's a member of the Submission Squad from St. Louis, Missouri. He's toured all over the country. He's wrestled some of the best talent and biggest names in professional wrestling. He's been regarded as one of the best wrestlers out there. Some maybe a secret, because maybe one of the best known secrets I've heard from different talents. So you're on the air, man. Obviously, you dropped your phone, so that was the beginning of this interview. Hopefully, the middle and end won't reminisce the beginning. We're going to do this. We just finished a whole hour at the Cauliflower Alley Club. I was being passed around. I was on the phone with Reggie Parks 1 minute. I was on the phone with cheerleader Melissa the next minute. So I'm a little blown up, but I'll be all right. So anyway, Circus Maximus, St. Louis Anarchy. Tell us about that.
Circus Maximus is our huge summer event that we do every year, and it kind of dates back to before St. Louis Anarchy was around with Lethal Wrestling Alliance. It's pretty much like supposed to be like the most violent show of the year, so there's always like gimmick matches and everything, and I usually have to headline the show either with a 10,000 thumbtack match, which I did last year with Adam Raw, or a TLC match. This year it's a TLC match, but it's not a regular TLC match. It's a 2 out of 3 falls TLC match.
Interesting. Very interesting. I don't think I've ever seen one of those.
Yeah, it's obviously, if you've ever been to the Knights of Columbus Hall in Alton, Illinois, you can't actually put a title belt from the top of the ceiling because of ceiling problems and all that. So basically, our TLC matches are won by pinfall. And ever since I've had the championship belt, I've decided, well, I'm going to change things up. So we're going to make every championship match a 2 out of 3 falls match. Okay, dating back to the old championship matches and a lot of the Lucha Libre 2 out of 3 falls. Okay, that's different. Yeah. That's definitely different. Not every challenger will be prepared for that, so that's an interesting strategy. We had Pierre Abernathy on the show a few weeks ago. We were talking about some different things, St. Louis Anarchy, being a promoter. We were talking about different things. When did you start wrestling? How did you break in? All that jazz. I'm going to say I probably started training in like 2003. Probably the same story Pierre told you, is we were hanging out. We ended up going to some bar where our buddy Pete worked, and he'd met some people who ended up being Jordan Lacey and some other people. They had a ring on the side of their yard. They trained us for about a day, and then we ended up meeting Adam Raw and Nick Tyson. So then the ring went from a yard to a field and then to inside of a diesel garage, and then that's when we got a majority of our training. That's pretty much just like a quick little wrap-up of like what could be a 30-minute story. So.
Okay, I understand. Tongue tie here. You were St. Louis Anarchy, and has had just a lot of interesting people who come through the ranks over the years. And me and Pierre were talking about this. I think independent wrestling is more important now than it ever has been, because now, I mean, obviously there was WCW, WWF, and ECW, and I think the independent guys had a better chance of getting to ECW because that's the way it was. But now it seems to me, and I might be wrong, but it just from the outside looking in, it seems that WWE with NXT and the Performance Center, it looks like now they are looking more and more into independent wrestlers. Obviously, you can turn on their television show and see people that you've wrestled with, people that you've seen at St. Louis Anarchy shows. Do you believe that? I mean, do you think now that, okay, we've seen Daniel Bryan, we've seen CM Punk, we've seen Seth Rollins, we've seen Ambrose, Cesaro, the list goes on and on and on and on. Do you think now that independent wrestling is, I think it's a little more important. I think people should be, really working harder now on everything, because now WWE is kind of looking at everything as a whole. They have people going to different shows, scouting talent. What do you think? I tend to agree. I think, like, the big picture of things is, usually, a couple years ago, you just have, WWE looking for big guys or, like, guys that played football or sports. But now, since I guess, kind of the powers have changed and you got someone, running the ship now who's one of the boys, or, he's worked his way up, we're talking about Triple H here, but correct. I think a lot of it has to do with he knows what it takes to get to that point, and he knows, like, I don't know if you're going to necessarily find a lot of these guys at the Gold's Gym just working out, going, oh, let's see this guy get in a ring and do some things, let's teach him. I think, he's looking for guys that, like, want longevity and want to do it for a living and want, like, have the passion and the heart. So I think that has a lot to do with it, because,
the guys that want it and they want to make it, like, those are the guys that they're looking into because they're going to be on the road all the time. They're going to go through all the training. They'll go through all the bullshit just to get to the point where they want to be, instead of just going, I tried it and I don't feel like doing it anymore. I mean, you can depend on these guys a lot more.
Obviously, because they have been busting their butts for years in independent shows, doing it for little or no money. You know, and they, you know, you guys travel every weekend somewhere. It seems sometimes you do double, sometimes you do triple shots, and you know you probably go home with a lot less than you left your destination. You leave St. Louis, you come back with probably a lot less than what you left St. Louis with, but you do it because you love it. Tell some of our listeners, some of the people that you have wrestled, where they will recognize some of those names from, so people who may not know of you or know that much of you can go to YouTube and look up who are some of the people you've wrestled over the years.
Let's see. My first, I guess, match with a name per se would be Mike Quackenbush. He has a very big, large part in Takara. Wrestled El Generico. I'm not sure what really happened to him. I think he went back to Mexico and helped the adoption agency. Sammy Callahan, who's now Salmon Crow in I almost said FCW in Next. Let's see, Davey Richards, who's pretty much like one of the best in the world right now. He's actually TNA's American Wolf, or the Wolves, him and Eddie Edwards. I've wrestled Kyle O'Reilly, who's probably, in my opinion, like the best guy out there right now, like bar none, but, you know, once again, that's just my opinion. Who else? Akira Tozawa. He was in the States for that run for a while. I wrestled him a couple times. He's over in Dragon Gate now tearing stuff up. Who else have I wrestled? Man. I'm drawing a blank. Oh, Roderick Strong.
You've been hitting the head a few times, so it's okay.
Yeah. Roderick Strong. He's another guy that's like the top of the Indies right now, and he's been there for a while, and he's amazing. Man, that might be the majority of them. Oh, and for fun fact, for fun fact, I've wrestled Flash Flanagan in one of my favorite matches, like in my first 5 years of wrestling. And if you're not sure who Flash Flanagan is, look him up. He's a cool dude.
You also wrestled ACH a few dozen times, and he's over Ring of Honor right now. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, I guess you can consider him a name. Yeah, right. I mean, he. I almost said ACH, but I was like, well, you know, yeah, we. His first 2 years of hardcore traveling with us, he was usually against me in a tag match or a singles. So I'm sick of beating him up. So I'm glad he got what he deserved. He went on to better things.
Oh, Cowabunga somewhere else. We have an interesting match this Sunday. Maybe you can give your thoughts on it. Obviously, we have Johnny Gargano coming this Sunday down here to Fort Worth for the first time to wrestle in Texas, and he's going to wrestle Thomas Shire. I believe you've been in the ring with Thomas Shire. What do you expect from that match, or what can people expect from that match, especially people who've never seen Johnny Gargano?
Johnny Gargano is probably my number 2 on the list of who's the best top of the top. I would go Kyle O'Reilly, Johnny Gargano. He's you expect pretty much what you get. He's a whole shebang. He's the bee's knees. You know, he's Johnny Gargano. And if you have internet capabilities or YouTube capabilities or one of them cool smart gadget phones thing, all you got to do is YouTube Johnny Gargano, and I'm sure a dozen of his matches or music video matches, whatever, will pop up online. He's really good. He's like a hybrid of a lot of styles, and Shire better bring his A game. I'm a big fan of Shire and a big advocate. I think he's very good in the ring and everything, but I really hope Shire's going to step up in this match and really show people what he can do.
I think it's a moment. Sometimes talent gets moments, and I think this is Shire's moment to step up. No pressure, Shire. No, wink, wink. Yeah. But I think this is his moment to really step out of wherever he's at right now and step onto a different playing field. I'm really looking forward to watching the match on Sunday. So you guys are coming back down here in September. I'm really looking forward to that. That show's going to have Stan Hansen on it. That'll be really cool. You guys have come down to Texas a lot. I asked Pierre, the first time you started coming to Texas, obviously Texas has a lineage and a history behind it. Jim Ross, we did an interview with him a few weeks ago, and Jim Ross stated that no state had contributed more to professional wrestling than Texas. That's probably an arguable point. St. Louis, where you guys are at, has another. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we lost connection for a few seconds. I'm going to try to get Gary J back on. Live radio, cell phones, that's what happens. So, here we go. We're going to get Gary back on here. I do apologize. Bear with us 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with us, folks. We are experiencing technical difficulties. And as soon as we get this resolved, we will be back on the air. Bear with us 1 second, please. I do apologize. We're going to get Gary J back on the line here. We're dealing with cell phones and internet, and sometimes things go into disarray. So, all right. It looks like we are ready to go. Again, just stand by, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you. We appreciate you standing by with us. Okay. Give me 1 second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we get Gary J back on the line here, ladies and gentlemen. Just give me 1 second. Live radio, cell phones, all that good jazz. We got a show this Sunday, the IHWE Experience, IHWEnow.com. Cauliflower Alley Club went great. We've got about 15 minutes left. We're going to get Gary back on the line here. And, yeah.
Hello?
All right, man. Live radio, cell phones. Botchamania.
Yep, it's
all
a great
right.
mix.
Here we go. We got 15 minutes. We're gonna rock and roll. That's how we roll. If there's no mistakes, nobody can learn anything. All right, so You guys come from St. Louis. Great wrestling legacy. I was on the phone with Jim Cornette the other day, and he was just putting over how great. I mean, he was like, I don't do too many shows, but I did one in St. Louis because of St. Louis and Sam Bushnick and whatnot. When you guys started coming down to Texas, what did it mean to you knowing that, okay, we come from St. Louis, great wrestling legacy. We're going down to Texas, which has this great wrestling legacy. I know you guys respect the business so much. What did it mean to you as far as legacy goes coming down here the first time?
The first time it was just me, Pierre, his girlfriend, and someone who doesn't even really have anything to do with wrestling anymore, Ryan Masters. It was pretty neat. Like that was our first big road trip, and it was for me it was a gazillion years ago now, but that was our first big road trip and our first big opportunity, and we were so excited to go somewhere, and let alone Texas, which has such a rich history with the Von Erichs and all that stuff. So we were pretty excited. So it was pretty much an honor kind of thing, and then we just started going down regularly, and then it kind of became second nature to us to be down there.
What are some of your favorite memories in Texas, if you have any?
I did that whole program with ACH and ACW when I beat up Stills' title, and then we ended up having a match at Guilty by Association. That was a really fun time. There was a lot of times that out of the ring, which we hardly get to really hang out with people a lot because we wrestle, get in the car, and come straight home, or go to the next town, or we have to be somewhere, because oddly enough, wrestling's not paying everybody's bills at the moment, so, we have to do other things during the week. So we actually got to know a lot of people around there, and going to Fun Fest for ACW was always fun, because just hanging out with the crew and watching a concert, and we got VIP stuff, so we got free drinks and food all day, so just hanging out there was cool. Anytime we go to Chris Wolf's house and chill on his couch, Bacon, I miss you. That's always a good time. Getting to know him and his family was always cool, and hanging out. So I think, like, other than, like, wrestling, like, a lot of my fondest memories down there are just hanging out with some of the people. Like, you know, Kelly Kyle, I love that guy. Crash on his couch and watch bad death matches for hours on end, and, like, nothing to me beats that.
Yeah, Chris Wolf is cool if you live next door to him or you're related to him. And then, yeah. No,
yeah.
I got to put him over. He's picking up Gargano and bringing him to the show on Sunday, so I got to put him over. So, Chris, Ronnie, whatever. You know the drill. I'll have to buy you Boston Market on Monday, I'm sure. So.
Or you get him some Genghis Grill. He loves to get some Genghis. Every freaking week, I swear. Dylan is going to, oh, my goodness. I don't know what we're going to be dealing with in a few years. So, anyway, I'm going to ask you something, and I forget now. It was on the tip of my tongue. Damn it. Now I forget. What's coming up? Where are you going to be? Like, where are you going to be in the next few weeks as far as towns, promotions, stuff like that? Shedding light on that, where people can look for you in different areas of the country. Actually, I'm getting ready to leave tomorrow morning for a triple shot weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Tomorrow I'll be in Clarksville, Indiana at the Roller Dome for IHWE Mid-South. And then the next day I'll be in Metropolis, Illinois for Chaos Pro Wrestling. And then I think Saturday, 01 Wrestling in, like, Randall, Illinois. So I'm pretty much just doing, like, a loop of the Illinois, Indiana area right there. And then I'll finally get to crash on my couch on Sunday because I'll be very tired.
I'm looking forward to Monday because I won't have a show on Sunday. I won't be in a building for 12 hours stressing. So I'm really looking forward to Monday. I know what I was going to bring up. You're a big John Tapper fan. Chris Wolf called me before the show, and he said he loves John Tapper. So bring that up on the show. So John Tapper.
Oh, man. John Taffer's the man. Like, I watch Bar Rescue religiously, probably too much. I should be doing other things instead of watching Bar Rescue, but I watch it anyways. I usually, if I'm not home on a Sunday when the new one's on, I just DVR it. That and I DVR Total Divas because any bad TV to me is good, even though, like, Total Divas is, like, really good. So, like, I love Bar Rescue. Like, I wish there was, like, a wrestling rescue. You mentioned that earlier on my Facebook. And, like,
yes. Wolf and I, every week, Wolf will call me up or box me, and he's John Tapper, and he's doing Wrestling Rescue. And have you watched Hungry Investors yet?
Yeah, I caught the first episode. It was pretty interesting. Like, I enjoyed it. I just really haven't got to caught, like, a chance to, like, watch it, because I'm pretty busy.
Yeah, you're working every weekend. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, for the people that don't go out and wrestle every weekend, like me, it's pretty good. It's you know, it's totally different from Bar Rescue, but it's John Tapper manages to get in some kind of promo on somebody every show that he's in. I have 10 Bar Rescues on my DVR. I think me and my wife have watched them all, but I watched Wolf used to watch it and just put it over to me big time. And then one day I forget what was going on. I put it on and I just started watching it. After the first episode, I was hooked. So I think we went through the entire series of Bar Rescue like within 3 or 4 days. We went through Breaking Bad, I think, in 2 weeks. So, I mean, if we miss something, we'll jump on it and we'll just watch it non-stop until we catch up. But, yeah, John Tapper is pretty spectacular. He's so smart. I mean, I Wikipedia'd him, and I was like, who is this guy going around yelling at people? And I was like, okay, yeah, he's okay. If he yells at me, I'll take his advice.
Yeah, like, I just wish he'd yell at me every day. I'd be more motivated. Just have him follow me around in my ear. He's almost like a motivational speaker.
Yes.
I would really like to get him and, like, Paul Heyman in a room and just have him yell at people.
That would be spectacular. Somebody needs to work on that somewhere. It's not me.
I agree completely.
Funny, but there's somebody that can do it. Somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to do it for sure. That would be spectacular. Wow. Oh, man. Yeah. Well, is there anything we're going to get you back on when we have more time, obviously, and go in more detail about your career and whatnot? Is there anything you want to say to, the fans while you're on here, your fans in the Illinois area, your fans in Texas?
I guess if there's any fans that exist of me out there in the United States of America, I just appreciate the love, and if you hate me, even better, because that makes me even happier because I'm doing something right. And other than that, if you want to hit me up on Facebook, just put me in the little search bar and put up Gary J, And then I'm on Twitter at StiffRoboGinger. And if you're looking to book a carload full of a whole bunch of morons to wrestle for you, just hit up somebody in the Submission Squad. We'd love to make some pounds and just do what we do. Maybe book us near Chris Wolf's house so we can go harass him for a day and go to freaking Genghis with him and Youngboy. I don't know.
Yeah, and they'll be back in the Fort Worth area on Sunday night, September 28th. So you'll actually get to do that. So I'm really looking forward to you guys coming back down here and wrestling. It's going to be that's going to be a loaded show. I'm making a big announcement on Sunday. We've got another big wrestling legend that's going to be at that show, along with Stan Hansen, along with Barbara Goodish. Kyle O'Reilly has been booked for that show. Charlie Haas. So it's going to be great. You guys being down here is just going to add that much more to it. But Sunday night I'm going to announce somebody else, and then all the information will get out there. So I'm really looking forward to you guys being here. So yeah, definitely.
Cool. And I guess if I got any more plugs, I'm just going to plug St. Louis Anarchy. If you want to find anything about St. Louis Anarchy, same thing, Facebook it, SLA Pro Wrestling. And then if you want to go to the website, go to slaprowrestling.com. St. Louis Anarchy is basically like a child of a couple of the guys that help do stuff around here in the St. Louis area. So, like, it's pretty much like our brainchild, and it's like our baby. So, like, the better it does, you know, the happier we are. And, like, we're really getting a whole bunch of momentum in these last year and a half or two. So, like, if you've never bought a St. Louis Anarchy DVD, I suggest it. Just go to smartmarkvideo.com. They have the video on demand online now because technology is crazy and you're not even going to buy it on a disc. So, like, I definitely suggest if you're in the area or within at least 8 hours of driving distance, July 25th, you should come out to Alton, Illinois for what's going to be pretty much like the biggest show of the summer, I'd say, within 8 hours. I mean, I'm pretty confident to say that, like, our show is the best thing around. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I have to
look at the roster. Look at the list of people that have been there. I mean, Chris Hero, ACH, Davey Richards. Just the list goes. I'm missing a lot of names. Wolf tells me every weekend that, I mean, I'm scatterbrained right now. But the list of people that have come through, either the previous organization or St. Louis Anarchy and worked with you guys is raving. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. That's an impressive. I mean, if you guys weren't good at what you were doing, you wouldn't have the shows that you do, the quality that you've had, and the people that have come through. So,
yeah. So that's my biggest thing there is, support that. Support, something that people put such hard work into and, show them you care because, that means the world to us because if it wasn't for the people that bought the ticket, then there would be no shows.
Exactly. And that's on smartmarkvideo.com, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. St. Louis Anarchy, ladies and gentlemen. Pierre was on here a few weeks ago. Gary has come on. We'll probably get Evan on here before September. Maybe I'm going to try to get all three of you guys on here at the same time, sometime before September 28th, and that'll be an interesting interview. But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on. It wasn't the best interview. We lost our call. We're going to get you back on, have a real interview with you. But I appreciate you coming on late notice, and we'll definitely have you back on sometime soon. Look forward to seeing you in September. Good luck in your upcoming matches, and again, thank you for joining us tonight.
All right, no problem. You have a great evening.
You too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Gary J. of the Submission Squad, and out of St. Louis, Missouri. He has wrestled all over the country. He's wrestled some of the you've heard the list, ladies and gentlemen. He's wrestled some of the best talent in the country, and he is getting ready for a triple shot weekend, and he's also getting ready for a St. Louis Anarchy Circus Maximus that's coming up, and he is 2 out of 3 falls every match. That is very interesting, especially these days. So definitely a psychological advantage over his opponent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've had quite the show here this Sunday at the Sendura Center. It's the IHWE Experience. If you're anywhere in Texas, we have people driving from Oklahoma. We have people driving from all over Texas. If you're anywhere near Texas and you want to see this event, make sure you are at the Sendura Center on Sunday. Johnny Gargano and Thomas Shire, the IHWE Heavyweight Champion, Matt Riviera is going to be there. We're going to crown a brand new Dallas-Fort Worth DFW champion. Barrett Brown is going to wrestle Ashton Jacobs and Gregory James in a triple threat match. We're going to have the Terry Gordy Memorial Battle Royal. We're going to have APOC going one-on-one with Al-Farad. We're going to have Spoiler 2000 going one-on-one with Tim Storm. We got the main event Mike Fox going against the Laughing Freak Wally Darkman. The list goes on and on and on, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a super card. You don't want to miss it. The only place to be this Sunday is at IHWE at the Sendera Center. Johnny Gargano makes his Texas wrestling debut. He'll be a part of Dreamwave Wrestling this coming weekend in Chicago. And then he will be down here on Sunday. So wherever you are, and if you're not able to get to the Sendera Center for whatever reason, just remember IHWE TV will be starting our taping for this coming Sunday. We're hopeful to get that going on July 30th. I want to thank Felix and Austin of Pipe Bomb Radio for having me on late last night. Austin and Felix had some very kind words to say about me and IHWE, and I really appreciate it. They've also put our banner up on their Pipe Bomb Radio website. They have a guest list like no other. If you want to type in Pipe Bomb Radio in your Facebook search bar, you'll see the list of people they've had on there. I believe they have the son of legendary Japanese superstar Jumbo Tsuruta coming up. Last night, I believe they had the son of Fitz Finley. They've had Julie Hart on. They've had Bruno Sammartino on. They've had Susan Green on. The list goes on and on and on of people they've had on. I want to thank everybody who joined us tonight. Cheerleader Melissa, Santana Garrett. I want to thank Reggie Parks. I want to thank Eric Schmiel, I believe is his name. Everybody who joined us. I want to thank Bruce Tharp. I want to thank the new NWA heavyweight champion, Rob Conway, for joining us. I want to thank Michael McCurdy for running around with his head cut off in Las Vegas. I want to thank Carl Lauer. I want to thank the current vice president of the Cauliflower Alley Club, Carl Lauer. I want to thank the vice president-elect, Morgan Dollar. I want to thank Brian Westcott for running around and doing all kinds of stuff for us in Las Vegas. Michelle Starr, I want to thank for joining us. Anybody that I missed, I do apologize. Just a lot of people to get. Oh, Ron Hutchinson, I want to thank you, sir, for taking a few minutes before your big night, getting the first ever Trainers Award from the Cauliflower Alley Club. You're a wonderful man. I've spoke to you a few times via social media, and I enjoy our conversations. You've been great. Ladies and gentlemen, this Sunday is the big one. It's been 3 years since IHWE has presented a live professional wrestling event, and we're going to do it this Sunday in Fort Worth, Texas, where the West begins. I want to thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week, Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be a 2-hour show. Where the first hour, we'll be wrapping up the Cauliflower Alley Club from Las Vegas. We'll be talking about the sights, the sounds, the guests, the moments, everything with Michael. He'll be back in California, and we will also be talking about the IHW experience. And we have made so many contacts with the Cauliflower Alley Club. Our summer is going to be booked. We have a lot of guests coming on. We've made a lot of contacts. I want to thank everybody for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are. Everybody in Las Vegas, please have a safe trip home. Enjoy your last night in Las Vegas. Hug each other, because you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. Thank everybody again for joining us from the CAC. Have a wonderful night wherever you are. Everybody, again, thank you. Thank you, Gary J., for joining us. Apologize for the technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Sunday's the IHW Experience, IHWEnow.com, Cauliflower Alley Club. This has been historic. I've enjoyed it. Thank you, everybody. Good night from IHWE Radio.